Grand Rising, Elizabeth, all you wonderful, beautiful sisters and Elizabeths when they show up. Um, Today is Passion and Purpose Day. It is July. Oh, it is August the 1st. It is the first day of August. And every day is a beautiful day. So we know this is the beginning of an awesome day because we say so. We say so. So I am Queen Aduni, and my co-host is the lovely Lolly Mariah Tolbert. And ever so often you'll see a little person who is in training. Yes. Um, and yeah, so it's a good day. It's a good day. So how is everybody doing? How are you, Lolly? How are you, Sharonda, Stacy, and Evelyn? How are you today? What are you creating today for your life? What are you creating? What are you standing for your life today? What is your passion pulling? What is your passion making you pull? How is it pulling you into your life, into your to your work, um into your joy, into your laughter, into your thanksgiving? How is that working for you?
Well, I am going to get out in the garage because it's nice and cool and um, pull things together for Idlewild. And
When is that?
that's the last, what is the last weekend in August?
Okay, Labor
Like,
Day weekend?
it's holiday weekend, Labor Day. Yeah.
Let me turn it
Yeah,
on.
got it, got it. Okay,
You said turn it on?
No.
good, good. All right. Anything else? Anyone else want to share? Okay. All right.
I I'm doing I'm doing all right. I am a little tired, but that is because I am learning how to create boundaries for myself. I think that it's like, I'm sorry, baby, it's too hot. Okay. Um, I I'm realizing that I need to be trust myself, trust my intuition when I'm at capacity and learn how to tell myself first and others no.
Not today.
Yeah. And so I actually, and I may share more later or at another time, but I was looking at this blog that was talking about it was talking about setting boundaries with yourself. But it really pointed me into in a direction of setting principles for myself that
Hmm.
I can live by.
Hmm.
Because boundaries are like the hard stop. It's the red flag. It's the okay, when this happens, you know to cut it off. But like before that happens, there are things that can be done to make sure that like you can more confidently talking about passion and purpose, like you can more confidently walk in your passion and purpose
Hmm.
with the strength, with the clarity, with the ability, the with the capacity before you get to the point where you're like, I can't even do what I really want to do because now I'm all over the place.
Right, right.
And so yeah, that's kind of what I was reading about, and I love to share more. But yeah, I'm in this space. I'm in this space of learning, and I love it. I love it. Sometimes you have to, like I have in one of my songs, I'm like, before you break through, you got to break down. Sometimes you just
You
at that
do, right.
point.
Right. For the
So
real breakthrough.
right.
You know, those things that make you okay, and those decisions, shall I say, and then and then you go right back to them. But when you had the breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
then the breakthrough comes through,
Yep.
and you're like through with that particular thing.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
So for me, this is an organic avocado. I'm like, I don't really care for these, but the organic ones actually kind of taste a little good. Like I can do the organic ones, but the other ones sometimes they be tasting like poison. So I'm like, if I can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
But I'm in the process of I went to my first developers class. So you're talking
Developing
about your
what?
passion. Pardon me?
Developing what?
It's along the lines with the real estate.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, it was nice to be in a room full of brown people
Hmm.
and being a woman, we were the minority, but we were about a third of the
That's
room.
good.
So,
Yeah.
it was nice to be in a room full of Black people.
Hmm.
But talking about passion and purpose, I'm like, okay, gotta really try to work on getting the financials together and the paperwork. Because he said they want to know, they're gonna want when you filling out all this paperwork and everything, they're gonna know what is your personal finances or financials. And I said, well, what is that? Is that just your taxes? And he was like, no, it's not just your taxes. It's the taxes, the debt owed, your assets. And he probably named about 5 other things. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm kind of glad, I guess I did ask that question because I had no idea.
Hmm.
So I have to work on getting the all that stuff together
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
that I can move forward because they're really it's like on a higher level.
So in real estate, are you going for houses or businesses, for real estate?
Really
And what
more on
area
the
are you
residential
focusing on?
side. But 4 units and under is considered residential, and 4 and 5 above is commercial. So
Okay.
really it would be both sides.
You want to do both. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, at least you focus. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna read this right quick because when I said your focus, I had picked up one of the cards and it was talking about focus, and I had put it back down, so I lost where that was. And then what did I do? I pick up just focus on prosperity. That's what it still says so I think for everybody, that's what. So, and it
Cool.
says the universe has abundance for you. And it's not your job to work out the how the money will come into your life. It's your job to ask, to believe your to believe you have received it already and to feel happy now. Leave the details to the universe on how it will bring it into your life.
Awesome. Can
Focus.
you take a picture of that if you don't mind me asking when you get a chance?
Yeah, and
And
send it.
then
I'll post
also
it.
speaking of that, which is kind of a divine thing, I would say the last couple of days to the last week, the city of Detroit has a startup fund grant. So it may be until about the 20th. That's our date. It might be a little bit after that, but they just announced that. So I gotta try to really try to figure out, well, what is it all about? And we need to just apply.
Yeah, can you post it or something? And then
15,000. I gotta look and see,
when you
but yeah,
find it,
I'll
yeah,
see.
post it or Monday when we all come together or
Okay.
just whatever information you get. Yeah, we can do that.
Can you read that card one more time?
One more time. Just focus on prosperity. The universe has abundance for you, and it's not your job to work out how the money will come into your life. It's your job to ask, to believe you have received it already, and to feel happy now. Leave the details to the universe on how it will bring it into your life. I like that. I like that. I like that.
I like it too. And
Yeah.
a couple of things that came to me, I guess some are personal, some are just general. But the first thing is prosperity. You know, it does have a lot to do with financial gain. But prosperity, I just looked up the definition of prosper, what prosper means. And
Yeah.
it can be to succeed in material items, be financially successful, but also it means to flourish physically, grow strong and healthy. And prosperity is a goal, is the goal. And I think sometimes we put it in the box of it's only money. Like I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
prosperous if I have an extra $10, $1,000, $10,000, whatever. But prosperity and abundance can come in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And then the personalizing what I'm saying is, I'm in this space of I'm working on my EP, my project, and I have a video shoot coming up, and I'm looking for like certain sponsors whose brand will be in the video, and I'm like, I got a week left, and all these things happening, and you know, that part of the card that was just like, it's your job to ask.
Yes.
That's all. You don't have to worry necessarily about like, oh, where is it coming from and who's gonna do what and da 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 da. Just ask and see, you know. And I'm like in this space of I have to send out my emails, and I sent out a couple. I got some no's, but that's okay because it just wasn't meant to be. But like I still have a few more, and I'm like, I don't know if I should talk to them. I don't know if I should ask.
Right. 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 Right.
And
Right.
it's like you know, you closed mouths don't get fed. And so I have to open myself up to the abundance, to receiving, to being prosperous. Um, and so I yeah, I resonate with that message on the card, and I am going to take it for myself. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to share how me opening myself up to prosperity and abundance allows for me to receive prosperity and abundance. I can't wait to share with y'all how that works out.
Yeah. 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 I just
May
want
I?
to change the I can't wait until say I'm excited about when I share. Because
There
you
you
can
go.
wait.
Yes.
If it ain't here, you waiting.
May I? May I? May I? Can y'all hear me?
Yep. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. It's amazing that y'all on this subject, right? And so, if it's okay, I want to share. I wrote it down, and I've
Okay.
been really meditating, and things have been able to really manifest, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
some of them is I made it to like declaration for me, but this is what the young lady was saying, Flores Scavo. She said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to reign with my word, to speak with authority of someone who knows their true identity. She said, there is gold dust. Well, I'm putting it for me, right? But there is gold dust in the air for me. Large sums of money comes to me now under grace and perfect ways now. You know, I command money with spiritual authority because she says that your word is your wine, right? And so money is spiritual. And it's just really been I command, I do not chase. It talks about when you chasing money, you chase it further away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're not here to chase, we're here to attract.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, most people who understand that your authority and that money is spiritual, people wake up and they say, God is my instant and inexhaustible supply, and all channels are open now for me. My supply is spiritual, it's not, physical. And I command rather than beg. I declare rather than worry. I expect rather than hope. So that's all I got a chance to write. Oh, one more. There is gold dust in the air for me. Large sums of money comes to me now under grace and perfect ways now. So that was profound for me. So I've been writing the things down for me to start. These are just like declarations, decrees, you know, and having that expectation. And so when you said focus on prosperity, this is all what pretty much I've been writing down is the focus on prosperity, not worrying about anything. So I just thought I'd share that with you all.
I'm sorry. Said thanks, Lakeisha. When you put it together, can you share it in WhatsApp for us? Lakeisha. Oh, Lakeisha, Lakeisha, Lakeisha. All right, I'm gonna have to just text it to her or something.
Hey,
No, you're on mute. I think she was trying to talk to us.
I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not for sure if y'all was able to hear me. I don't know. My phone says safe driving mode. But I don't know if y'all was able to hear what I was saying.
Yeah, no, we heard everything. And then I was asking, can you, when you type that, when you tap those declarations, can you put it in the at WhatsApp for us?
Oh yes, baby. And I'm gonna even put it in my one of my shows. Okay,
Oh
yes,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely. So I've been really studying about how everything is spiritual
Hmm.
and the use of the mirror. Like get
Hmm.
in front of the mirror and speaking a lot of things. A mirror is it's just powerful when you
Hmm.
do mirror work, but it's on a whole nother level. So yeah, I'll be happy to share.
Yeah, Ashe, thank you. Lolly Lolly, what's up, girl?
Oh, well, um, not too much, not too much. Where is that? Or where was I looking at it at? There is the blog I was speaking of earlier. If I can find where I had it at.
Mhm, mhm. So while we're waiting on that, Hug Detroit will be at on not on Iron Street. It will be at the pub. It will be at the Woodbridge pub. So
Have you seen the across from the I can't. Okay, across from the Woodbridge pub, like
that's
in
their
there's a
park.
little lot right there, like a
That's
little.
theirs.
Oh,
That's
that's
a little
theirs too.
park. That's where we're doing it.
Oh,
Hug
cool.
Detroit at.
I drove by the other day and I noticed they would have some music and stuff going on outside over there, and I was like, "How long has this been here? Has it always been
Yeah, yeah.
there?" Let's see. Okay. So, earlier I was speaking on this blog that I had found that was talking about self-guiding principles. Um and not necessarily as opposed to boundaries, but prior to boundaries, setting those boundaries.
Hmm.
Um and so I had mentioned that the boundaries were more of the hard stop. But I'll just kind of share what they were talking about boundaries before I get into that. So, um, their question on the blog is how do we set boundaries with ourselves? Because so often, we tell people about boundaries with other people, but then it's like we sometimes, I know for me, I'm saying we, but I sometimes forget what setting what telling myself no can do, how freeing that actually is, and that I don't have to push myself past my physical and mental capacity, and it doesn't make me any less um of a hard worker or a creative or whatever. And so They gave a couple tips on how to set boundaries for yourself. And the first it was to get to know yourself again. So it says we have to know ourselves to know what kinds of boundaries we need. This step can be a little scary, especially if we have a deep-seated belief that it is unsafe to be ourselves. We lose touch with ourselves and assume that being ourselves is wrong. You might want to do some journaling on this subject. So, what are your likes, desires, and strengths? What directions are you going in? And what are your hopes, values, and dreams? And as we're talking about passion and purpose, sometimes when we get lost in the just doing stuff constantly, I'm just doing stuff to make me feel like I'm important instead of actually walking in passion and purpose. Girl, what do you need?
And she looks at us like,
um then we can get lost, and I know I've experienced that quite a bit. And speaking of her, my baby girl was one of the reasons that I came back to learn myself again or start that process again, because I was everywhere and doing everything and just searching for the feeling of I'm walking in purpose instead of actually walking in it. And then, so the second thing to create boundaries for ourselves is figuring out what you want to keep and what you want to get rid of. And that could be physical. Like a lot of times we hoard physical things. Um, and it's like, well, I need this. It has sentimental value. It does this or that. I just have to keep it. And it's just causing clutter. But in the same way, in our lives, in our minds, in our routines, there are some things that we should keep. And then there's also some things that we definitely just need to get rid of. But we keep holding on to these habits, or these routines, these things that don't actually serve us. Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that about releasing things. At 11:40, my mom passed. How many years, Pam? Three. It's been 6 years? Oh my. 2019. Are you kidding? Wow. Anyway, and so she passed today at 6 years ago at 11:40, right? Okay, and so what's happening today at 11:40, because she was cremated, is that we are releasing her ashes. She always wanted to go to the Holy Land, and so we was going to hold it until one day we might get to the Holy Land, and then we would release her ashes there. And Rev came over one day and she was looking at our board on my board. That's why it's empty now, because it was just stuff. It just was stuff. And even as I would look at it, it would like I would feel like I'm enchained. I'm back. I'm chained or caged into you. And you can get caged even into your passion. You mentioned that at the beginning, Lolly. You were saying that what was that you said about um doing you was doing a lot of stuff that to you, okay, I'm doing my passion stuff, but what is was it in line with what your purpose is
Right.
with that? So I'm just saying that today, so Rev was saying, why are you holding on to old stuff? Let her go, let her totally go, because there's a connection to that. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just sharing what you said today. And that's what we as the her kids, are going to Belle Isle, where they do the sacred thing for Juneteenth, and we're going to release her. Her some ashes, some will keep. I'm gonna keep the one that's in my little ring. I have a little ring, but I have another thing. I'm just gonna just let her go, especially the big one. Let her go. Release her ass. Shiz.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, several years ago. released mom and dad's ashes because I held on to them. You know, they were in the box, and I
Yeah,
had little urns. Sheena's spirit told her to keep her urns. They're cute little urns. And,
yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, but I just want to say this. I love words, and so I have these panels and that are going to go on pillows, and one of them is boundaries, and
Hmm.
it says, and the way it's spelled out is say, be aware of what is unacceptable and normalize saying no. Do what is best for you and know that things aren't your responsibility all the time. Your needs matter too. So
Mm.
the letters of boundary is the first of the line. So I thought that was really,
Oh, nice.
yeah. So we're gonna make pillows, y'all, and it's gonna have that stuff on there.
Okay. All right. All right.
We
I
have
love I love that. I love that actually. That's actually one of the next thing is identify your needs. That's one of the next thing on this list. So definitely. To in response to Queen, yes, that is a beautiful release. And we have created what we as a people have created the lands and understood that certain lands are holy.
Yeah.
Then over time, you realize that all the land is holy
It's
land.
holy.
You made it already.
Right. 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 There's a song. There's a about holy. Put my feet on holy ground. Something. Anyway. Anyway.
uh, oh, I I might know it from back when it's a god. It's like
It's
a
a gospel song. Yeah.
okay. I think I might know, but it's not coming to me all the way.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um. But yes, yes, yes. So definitely on our path to walking in our purpose and utilizing our passions, we
Mhm.
definitely have to one get to know ourselves again and understand what our strengths, desires, goals, values are, but also understand what we need to keep and get rid of on this path. Um, and then there is a guiding principles, which I'll come back to, and identifying your needs, which I'll talk a little bit about since Mama Evelyn's brought it up. So this blog says, what do you need in order to put those principles in actions? If your guiding principle is that you will reduce stress, you will want to identify your stressors and figure out how to make them less stressful. Identify the things you can do to relieve stress and figure out how to do them more often. Maybe you set boundaries with yourself that you will leave 10 minutes earlier than you usually do to allow for last minute complications. You could have a boundary to protect 10 minutes a day to practice deep breathing or praying or stretching or just silence or whatever. Understanding what it is that you need to put your best foot forward in life is truly important. I see a comment in the chat. No, I'm not sharing anything on the screen at the moment. I'm just talking. Yep. Just talking. I'll share the link in the WhatsApp though to this blog later if you wanted to go back to it and look at it. But yeah, understanding what our needs are. I think for me, I don't know if this is your experience, but sometimes we put our actual needs to the side and sometimes we put our wants before our needs. And it doesn't become the most healthy environment for ourselves. For example, I'll give you a example that has to do with the physical body. So this example is sometimes we want that those potatoes and chives and bacon and with all the extra seasoning and the soda pop and
Please.
the cheese. Well, sometimes we want that. But what we need is food. We need food that will sustain us, that is going to keep our bodies moving. And so it might have been a better decision to do maybe, I don't know, maybe a cup of a little bit of a baked potato with some broccoli and maybe some protein. It could be maybe a chicken if you eat chicken. It could have been a chicken breast, a grilled chicken breast, and now you have a full meal as opposed to something that's high in oils and all the things, right? But you wanted that though. You wanted that. But it wasn't necessarily for your best interest. In the same way, I'll speak for me. Sometimes I want to be at everybody's event, everybody's show. I want to do all the things. I want to, pass out the flyers, put this on, be on everybody's song, go everywhere, model, dance, do all the things somehow in one day. Get from the east side to the west side and back, and then go somewhere else. I want to do all those things. I want to be greedy and do all the things that technically are within my passion. But what I need is to focus on, okay, what is my impact? What is my goal? What things do I need to do today that align with that?
Mhm.
And then when I've accomplished those things, if I have more time, then I can do a little bit more. But I've already accomplished the things that are fit within my purpose. And so I did going back to identifying what our needs are is when we're establishing boundaries with ourselves for the sake of making sure we are in alignment with our purpose, but still using our passions, we have to understand what we need versus what we want. So, with that being said, you're going to want to write your boundaries down when you create them. Um, but before I get into, because I wanted to come back to our guidelines, because I'm talking about these boundaries and writing down the boundaries and all those things. But again, I mentioned that the boundaries where the hard stop. And so the guiding principles is what I really wanted to go into. But before I do that, does anyone have a time, an example that they're open to sharing about how they put their wants before their needs?
Hmm.
Well, I could say, yeah. This is on a, I have to think about it, and I make an intention because my needs are, to purchase healthy foods and healthy things, but my wants are the art stuff. I'll go on Amazon and it's like, do I really need to buy another? Because I'm looking at another earring. You know how you have those wrapped earrings, Queen, and so it's a wider base. And I said, do I really want to get these? Right now, or do I need this table here or a shelf here on wheels so that I have more space? So it's like, I'm an art junkie, but I do have some self control. But sometimes I get what I want rather than what I need.
I hear you talking, girl. Because I, I said, well, maybe I shouldn't share that, but mine is exactly the same. Because when I'm talking to myself, I'll tell myself, if the company needs, okay, here's a even simpler. When I'm talking to Fame about cleaning up at the shop, and I was telling them it upstairs in the kitchen area, I said, if I come up here, and I use anything up here, I will clean it up before I leave, period. There's no negotiation with that unless ask someone else, could you do that? Make sure, because I don't have the time. Okay, but I'm not going to attend to that. You come to my house, it won't be like that. When I just move it somewhere else, but because I'm at the shop, when I'm at the shop, other people are using the same stuff. And
Mhm.
so I before I leave, my station is going to be clean, all that stuff. I'm going to check everything, but at home, mm-mm. If I need something, I need to purchase something to make something work better with the shop, my business. It will just get taken care of. I would, and as I am in my retirement of that, okay, not life retirement. I'm and stepping into more the art and the music and the production side of me, which is therein lies my passion. Um, what was I talking about?
You were answering her question about wants.
versus
Oh yeah,
need.
yeah. So now I'm like, okay, I there's some things, some vocal things that I want where you put the thing in your mouth and you have to have the keyboard and stuff and make all these sounds and purchase this other stuff that I need with this computer programming where if I want the wind to blow, stuff like that I can do all that as a part of the group, right? I am willing to get that money and get that stuff because it's going to enhance really what my passion is, which is the singing and the production and stuff. But as far as doing something for me to go pamper myself, I just do my own nails, and but when I do it, I so enjoy it. I wish it was somebody that I could have a conversation with, like with a black woman instead of running over here, because I don't do that stuff for myself, which I intend to change that. I intend to change that. Yeah. But yeah, I will. I'll set it out, man. I'll set it up for the business. But do I set it out for myself? Nope. And therein is my truth in all of it, right there. Not in different areas, all right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And I think sometimes what we kind of neglect ourselves sometimes when we put everything else ahead of us, but we need to be in a good space so that we can continue to walk in our passions and our purpose. And
Yeah.
so, like if it's okay to, you can put your resources and your time into all the things that are aligned with your purpose, which is important, but you also have to remember that you are aligned with your purpose.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're not separate from that.
Yeah. And do what Lakeisha is saying and create that passive income so I can do them other things. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing. Before I move on, was there anyone else that wanted to share?
Going
Yeah,
one?
I did.
Okay.
As you all were talking, I'm on my vibration plate. When y'all was talking, I was like, that sound like the money they need to start investing.
Yeah.
But
Yep, 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 yep.
Yes. Okay. So that being said, I want to get into the guiding principles that I keep speaking of. And basically, the guiding principles are what informs your self boundaries. So just remembering that in this whole conversation, we are talking about ourselves. We're not talking about boundaries when other people do this to me. No, this is us taking accountability for ourselves, our own boundaries. And of course, our own boundaries do impact other people. But we're focusing on us in this. So this blog shares more and it says, how do you identify yourself, your guiding principles? And this is for the year because this blog was about starting off the year with these, but you can do it whenever. There's not a time when you set guiding principles. You just decide when you're going to set them. And so the first thing they say is think about what you value most. So take a look at your life, the past year, the past few months, whatever, um, and make a list of things that are important for you. What were your happiest moments? What were some things that you wish could have gone another way, another direction? What did you experience? Think about those things And then and not beating yourself down or anything like that, but just really think about where were you lacking boundaries? Where were you lacking I guess that self-accountability, or what did you want to see more of? And so something that I think if we can take just a moment or two just to think about, you could write it down, you could think about it in your brain, but what are your values? It can be, and this don't have to be a full list, okay? You don't have to give me 100 values of yours, but just think about maybe 5 things that you value, 10 things that you value, whatever you can think of in the next minute or two. Think about those things, what those values are. Do 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 do. But they get them in your mind. Get them in your mind. Get them in your mind. Yes, values. Values. All right. Okay. It is now 9:46, so it's been a about a minute. Okay, so do any of the things that you value, that you listed, that you thought of, do they jump out to you as something that that you need to work on around? So, for example, I value me time, alone time, being at home sometimes. But I'm often outside at events and it ends up draining me to the point that I can't I can't function in the way that I'd like to, and I get mentally overloaded. So, because I value home time, family time, I know that that's an area of my life that I need to work on and that I need to create boundaries in. So, I know that if I've already exceeded my, let's say, for example, 2 events a week capacity, but there's something else going on that I have to learn how to, unless it's paying and I really need it and really, 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 really want to enjoy this, I got to tell myself no. So that's an area I have to work on based on what my values are. So back to the question. Any of the values you thought of jump out to you as something that you need to work on?
Oh yeah. My creative time.
Right.
Not,
Just start thinking
it's
about
not just walking in, talking to me. Give me a minute. Knock on the door and wait for me to respond. Yeah. Yes. My creative time. I when I lived in the family home, my creative time was endless. You know, there really was very few interruptions. So, and I'm thinking more about that retreat and that silent retreat we were talking about yesterday. Just just someplace, have a notebook or a project, and just no talking, no electronics, no, can't get in touch with me for 24 hours, 48 hours. Yeah, that'd be great. The more I think about it, the more I want to create. I'm going to create that.
That's good. That's good. And so when you have, and I'll open up the floor for other people to share in just a moment as well. But yeah, so you value your creative time. Baby girl is just talking so much. She has a lot to share and a lot to add.
She agrees with me, don't you, Pumpkin? Hi, Boo. Hi, Sugar. Oh, I love you so much.
when she really does start talking, then you be like,
Oh yeah, I already know when she starts, when she figures out how to put words together, it's not gonna stop. I already know. I can tell.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I can tell you with my grandson, it's like sometimes If we knew what we could, all those little goo goo gagas when he was little. And then now it's like, oh my God. But what Queen would tell you yesterday, he played her some of the music that he had it's already music, but he
He
did it
was
his
singing.
way with his own different levels, and he's just
He's good. Yeah, he's really good. Really good.
yeah. And then Queen said, "Why don't you come to Hug Detroit and be on stage?" And he was like, "Huh?
He freaked out. No.
What? You remember over there at the building that you had when he got up there on the stage with Sky?"
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you got to get
No.
those people impromptu.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have where he had time to think, oh, and then create all this in your head. Okay, I'm sorry. We want to get back to
Yep.
Ollie's question.
Yeah, it's okay. So, and side note, just to respond to that, I had stage fright until about 2017. So it's okay. It's all right if he has a
Yeah,
little stage
right.
fright. He'll be all right. Just keep pushing him. Um, but back to the things that we value. So, Mama Evelyn, you were explaining that you value your creative time, and so a guiding principle you could create around your this value is, I will make sure to set aside time every week, whatever, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I'm setting aside 2 hours of time, uninterrupted time, where I will make sure my door is closed and I will let people know that I am not available and whatever. And that'll be your guiding principle. And then the boundary that you create also is that I am not going to open my door. I am not going to respond unless it's an emergency. I am only going to be working on my crafts. And the difference that I'm seeing between your guiding principles and your boundaries are guiding principles are the positive. It's not saying here's what I'm not about to do. The guiding principles are here. Yeah, baby. Here is what I am going to do to make sure that the things that I value get acknowledged. And the boundaries are this is what happens if I get pushed to the point where that might not be happening. But we're going to focus on the guiding principles. So it's best is I would say not even better. They're both equally important. But before we get to the point of the boundary, it's so beautiful to be able to have established a space for your values so that you don't have to second guess. You don't have to get to those moments where you feel like you have to set a boundary because something isn't working anymore and I'm not no longer walking in my purpose or whatever. Like I'm getting put on the back burner. I'm doing no. I've already established what I'm doing. So now on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, however way you set up yourself for that, you already know your values are on the front line already. You already made sure that those things that are your values are being highlighted, are being worked around, are that is happening. Your passion, your purpose, these things are happening as they should be. And then you can worry about anything else. So yes, thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else have any values that you thought about that maybe you could be working on representing, I guess, more often?
My peace. Working on my peace is very important to me because if I don't have that first and foremost, it's hard to work in anything else I want to do. So I appreciate you sharing that, setting those boundaries and making sure that it happens for myself because right now, with the kids being out of school, they're intriguing on my peace. And I told them last night, I can't wait till y'all go back to school. And they were screaming like, no, I don't want to go back. I'm like, yes, you do. And so I can just see my world. My world is a lot different when they're in school. as opposed to when they're out. There's a lot more that's tugging on me and pulling on me and expected of me. So, setting some time aside, even when they're out of school, to make sure that I get the peace that I need is really important. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Yes, your piece is very important. And we don't need you to be in chaos and all the things. It doesn't work well with your passion and purpose. I can guarantee you that. If you don't have peace, yikes. So finding ways to make sure that you have peaceful moments, no matter what, is so exactly. It's so important. So thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else? You have about 5 minutes left, so maybe one more person can share if there are any values that you can currently work around that, well, not currently work around, any values that you feel like you have, but could do maybe better at implementing, and making sure that those values come first.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna say as far as the is the value, gosh, it's
Hello.
when what do I want to say? Balance. I guess that's what because I have so many different projects and stuff, things that I'm working on for myself, and just making sure that that I get the balance of and create a schedule where I'm not overdoing in one area and then this is suffering over here. So for me, it is having that balance and making sure that what's important gets done, not just what's urgent, or what's just fun, because I can get into that. And yeah.
Yeah, I hear you there. I definitely hear you there. That's something that I'm working on myself is balance. And when you value balance, it's um a self-guiding principle would be, in all the things that I do, I make time
Mhm.
once a week, make an hour once a week to work on the different things, whatever they are. Everybody has different things going on. So it might be 5 things, it might be 7 things, it might be 3 things, it might just be two. I don't know what y'all got going on.
Yep.
But but making sure you set aside though that time is important. I know this week for me, for example, I was working towards that. And then I knew I messed up when I didn't tell myself and someone else know about an event that ended up taking different taking up more time than necessary. Like one event that's happening this evening actually accounted for 3 different days this week worth of things that needed to be done. Hey.
Lakeisha, RJ will be calling you soon. You got time today because he got paid, so he's going to open up his brokerage account today.
Yay.
Yay, brokerage account. But yeah, so having those boundaries with ourselves are important. But again, before setting those boundaries, having those guiding principles in our lives that include what it is that we value and how we're going to make sure that those values are known and put in the forefront every day, every week, every month, every year will be very helpful in making sure that we stick to those boundaries, or create those boundaries as necessary and continue to walk in our purpose, utilizing our passions, and keeping our peace. Okay, Stacey? With that,
Rhonda, did you want to say something?
yeah.
Usually when you pop on, it's because you got a moment from your work.
I was
Okay.
wanting to say something. I'm like not really sure about values. Y'all know I was at work, but I can hear a little bit. But values, as she said, preferences. I mean, peace. I'm gonna say like priorities. Cause like last year I worked at my mom's house all the way from Memorial Day up until like right before my birthday, March. And I don't know if I just been burnt out, but I haven't been back over there to work because I was paying out money that I really didn't have to have help because it was like I really didn't feel motivated to go over there without help. And it's like she needs help, but she has help, but it's like the help that she has is not really helping.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm gonna have to really see about that. But I have made value in my own dollars because like I paid out so much money and I don't know if it just was a halt where I just have not been able to go back over there and I want to, but it just a lot when you got to do everything by yourself. And I'm just like, my God, was it Eli? Best ever. I can't get the word. And if I really sing it, I'll get it right. But my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Okay. Eli, lama sabachthani. But yeah, I'm just like I need help. But then also one thing where I'm getting some help is I'm like, okay, we need to go here. She gets in her metro lift, and if I can make it there, then I can take her home. So that has been a big help because having to go get her, get myself ready, go get her, then get to this place, trying to be on time with her. We meeting at the same place. That's helped out a lot. So I myself am finding out I can't do everything. Kids like, you can't be dancing. I can't do all these events, like Lolly said. I can't do all these events and trying to get these businesses off the ground. So I have taken steps back, but as Lolly said, you got to take one thing, three things, one day, 1 hour, 1 minute. We got to set some time to prioritize. I think I did. I hear you say something about writing stuff down. So y'all know I'm saying, let's write the vision. We have to set some time to make sure that our goals are being met because just in my head, it's just not happening. So I'm trying to get that into fruition. And I thank you all.
You're
Can I
welcome.
speak on that? Lord have mercy. I'm so happy to hear that because we having big thoughts. You have to sacrifice. You have to let God know that you are serious about what you're doing. That means sacrificing some of the things that you love doing. Like I love dance. I love my hustle family. But guess what? I love my vision more. So you have to love your vision more, sacrifice, show God that you are serious because you can't do both. It's either or. Are you going to be serious and work on your business? It's going to take time. Or is your hustling, is the things that you love more important than your future? So I'm proud of you for having that mindset and willing to start in that direction, Sharonda.
Mhm. And if I can just throw this in before we get out of here, God never, never, ever, and I live on this, never forsakes you, never.
Never.
Never ever. And if when we feel like that, like you said, why hast thou forsaken me? It's just a moment. It's a moment. Just remind yourself. He said, I'll never leave you. He said, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. So just let that go because he'll never. And know that everything that you are learning, everything that we are going through is purposeful. It is to teach us some things. I think about, I've had several abortions in growing up, right? And I think about that, and I think about that had I kept that baby, Fame would not be here, period. Because I would have stayed in California. My whole life I would have been dealing with him, and the father, and all that kind of stuff. So every single thing that happens in our life, we celebrate, we thank God for it because either it is to advance us, well, it's always to advance us, but sometimes it feels like it doesn't feel good, but just know that all things, here's that scripture, work together for the good. So release, and I've had to tell, people, just know if you think that I'm thinking of something ugly about you, just let it go because it's not true. So that let that go because it's not true. God would never forsake us. Whatever okay, what am I learning from this? And then you see it all start coming together, or some of it, because it can't all come together at one time, because we do things and learn it for different reasons. So, yeah, just like you said, everything, like you said, what Lolly said, what Lakeisha said, and what everybody is sharing. You're on the right path. Know that you're doing the right thing. Just know that.
Yeah.
Just know
Yes.
it. Just know it. Because
And
you
that's
have surrendered to God. You've asked God to
mm,
order my steps. So just know that that is what is happening, even if it feels like, oh, I should have, and you no, you're on the right path, boo. Just do it. Lakeisha, you're gonna
yes.
know something.
So what it is that we think it's God. It's not God. It's you. We want to say God is not forsaken. No, it's not God. It is you. God has given us everything we need to live the life that we want to live. We are out of alignment. If we are not where we want to be, if we have not reached the goals, if we have to check ourselves. Where am I out of alignment? It's never him, it's us.
Or what is it that I don't know? There was a singer who sings. He says, "I will not." What was it? I'm going to use the word. I will not forsake myself, like what you're saying, Lakeisha. God said, "I won't forsake you," but will we forsake ourselves?
Absolutely.
We
It
can
has
do
a lot
that,
to
and
do
then
with the
God,
words.
yeah,
Yes, the words that we say, our energy, our vibration. We have to really watch our words. What
and
are
our
we saying?
emotions.
Get your emotions. Like it's never him, it's us. So where do we have to work on ourselves? Where am I out of alignment? Where you ask them questions? Ask those open-end questions. God help me. Where am I out of line? Where do I need to, what do I need to work on? Like there's always a way out. You're never stuck in anything.
Yeah,
It's just you spending time with yourself to get back in line
get
with your source
quiet.
being.
So, yeah. All right,
Yeah.
close us out, Lolly, Lolly, Lolly.
Yes, y'all, thank you for sharing everything that you shared today. I am going to put these two blogs, the links to these two blogs in the WhatsApp so you can read more and think about it more. Everything that everybody said is just all in alignment, and so I don't need to repeat anything. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close out. If you love yourself, or at least love a part of yourself, or
A
like
good
yourself a
part.
little bit, anything, go ahead and give yourself a hug. Yes, give yourself a hug. And then you can share that love with the world. So go ahead and give the world a hug because it needs it. And then we're gonna sprinkle our guiding principles, our values, our love, our priorities. We're gonna sprinkle all the goodness and grace and everything on our lives and on the world. And with that being said, y'all have a
What was
wonderful
did you say sprinkle? What was that? Gold something sprinkle?
oh, our goals. But we can sprinkle gold too.
I thought you were talking about gold sprinkled gold or something. Was that in this session?
No, but we can sprinkle
Well,
gold.
sprinkle gold on you
We're
anyway.
gonna
Oh,
sprinkle
I had
gold.
said that. I had
Yes.
said that.
What was that you said?
Um,
It was a few words
it
with
was right here. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we want to sprinkle that gold and
Okay,
we want that prosperity that
there,
Kurt was talking
yes, there is gold dust
gold
in the
dust.
air for me.
Yeah.
Large sums of money comes to me now under grace and perfect ways now.
There you go.
There for me.
Gold dust is in the air.
Gold dust, dust, dust. You guys have a wonderful, awesome, prosperous, loving weekend. Have fun, and
It's a
enjoy your
Rise
emotions
Detroit
and
Neighborhoods
your
weekend.
purpose.
I'll have to post that link. It's gonna be over 100 events, and Lolly's gonna be doing one of them too. So We got
Okay.
plenty of stuff to do today, this weekend.
I'll show you. Peace
Okay.
out. I love you.
Love you too.